Hey guys, so we're gonna keep working on slope-intercept form for this first half of the week. So, if you remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept, which is where it touches the y-axis. So basically, we're just gonna pull m and b from the graph and then put it into the equation. So for B, it's the easiest one to find. It's where it touches the y-axis, which is the up and down axis. And in this case, it's 5. And for slope, you do rise over run. So that's where you want to find any other point that touches on the corner of a box, which in this case is just this one down here, it looks like, I think. Because if you'll notice, none of these other points touch quite on the corner, so just there. So rise over run, so I'm going to start with up and down. How many spaces I go on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces down. So that's -10, and then I go right 1, 2, 3 spaces, which, well, looks kind of crooked, but you get the idea. So my slope is going to be -10 over 3. It's important to note that when lines are going down from left to right, they are negative, they have negative slope. And when they go up from left to right, it is positive. We read graphs just like sentences, left to right. So for the equation, I just plug in m and b. Right, so y and x just stay y and x because it's an equation for lines. So y and x could be all sorts of things. Anyway, okay, so I put this one on here because it's one of those ones where people always get confused when it's a vertical line. So when you have a vertical line, we've talked about this before, it's like you're going up but not over, so your slope is undefined. And if you'll notice, like, no matter what point you have here, all of the x's of every point on a vertical line are -2 in this case. So the equation for a vertical line is just x equals whatever number where it touches x. So x equals -2. If you get confused on whether it's x or y, just look at which axis it actually touches. You know, it touches the x-axis, so it's x equals -2. When you have a horizontal line, same kind of thing. Remember, the slope is 0. This one, though, you could actually even put it into mx plus b, right? Because b would be -1 here, and slope would be 0. And 0x minus 1 is just -1. But again, if it's not diagonal at all, it'll either be y equals a number or x equals a number. And if you can't remember, just look at which axis it actually touches. Okay. So this is one where some people might get a little confused, but it's not too bad. So we need to write it in y equals mx plus b form. So to do that, we need slope, which, hey, I have slope, but I need to figure out what b is. And they didn't tell me b, but they did give me a point. So just remember that points are written x, y. So what I can do is I can plug all of those in to the equation y equals mx plus b, and then solve for b. So y is 3, so I'll say 3 equals, and then m is 1/2, x is -4, and I'm trying to figure out what b is. So first thing I'm going to do is multiply these two numbers together. So I'll get 3 equals -2 plus b. If you ever need help with like a multiplication or any of that stuff, feel free to use a calculator. Anyway, to get b by itself, I can start solving. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides to cancel those out. So B will actually equal 5. So that means that the equation for this line is going to be y equals 1/2 x plus 5, because they gave me the slope and I figured out what b is by solving. So this one is the same thing. The only difference is that this time I have to find the slope. So we have a formula for that. It's where you subtract your x's. Well, I'm saying y. I'm saying x. I'm writing y. You subtract your y's and your x's and put them in a fraction like this. So we have done that before, okay? So I'm gonna label my points and find the slope. Excuse me. So I'm gonna plug this in. I'm gonna get, subtract my y's on top. So I'll do 2 minus 4. And on the bottom, I'll do 0 minus -2. So 2 minus 4 is going to be -2. 0 minus a negative becomes a plus, so 0 plus 2 is just 2. And -2 divided by 2 is -1. So now it becomes a problem just like the one up there. So I'm going to plug in to y equals mx plus b. So it does not matter which point you choose. You can choose either one, and it'll still work. I'll just go with the first one. So I get 4 equals, because it's my y, and then m was -1, x was -3 plus b. So I multiply those together. I get 3 plus b, and then I can subtract 3 on both sides. And I get b equals 1. So I know my m and I know my b, so I can just plug this straight into my equation. So -1x plus 1. The more proper way to write that would just be -x plus 1. That's what it would look like if it were like multiple choice or something. Anyway, that's the new stuff for this week. I will see you guys at the live meet, and if you have questions there, please make sure to stay after class and ask them.